So now we're looking at the binomial expansion. So you could use Pascal's triangle, or you can just expand the bracket in a certain form. So a plus b to the power of n. So only positive integers for n. And first three terms is a common question. You are given the formula that you can see there in the formula booklet in your exam. But you should just check with like an easy example. So let's say bracket 1 plus x, close bracket to the power of 4. And just see the pattern of the formula. And after 2 or 3 examples, you'll kind of understand and will be able to remember how it looks. 2x, which is a, 2x to the power of 5, which is what we were given as the exponent. And the 5 over 1 there is a kind of an idea with combinations. So 5 NCR 1 on your calculator, which you should be familiar with when you're doing this. So just have a look at that if you need to. The notation can sometimes change with these a little bit, but just generally have a look at the ideas, the way that it ascends and descends for A and B. You'll notice the trend or pattern of the formula being used in this question anyway over time, and just be careful with negatives too, and use your calculator as much as you need to. So you'll see here, for the second set of terms, that we have a minus 3 over x. So when you simplify it out, that minus will make a difference. And lastly, of course, just with that third set of terms there, we have a minus inside. But it's squared, so of course any squared number is positive. A minus times a minus is a plus, you were probably taught. Part 2. So hence. Hence means for this reason. So basically in mathematical exams, we're using something that we had before, so generally the answer from a previous question, and we'll be using it in this part 2. So let's write out what we have. So we have 1 plus 2 over x squared, and then we're going to put in our answer from the first part. So it was the expansion of what is given there anyway. So what do we need to do? We need to put the coefficients together in some way that we end up with a coefficient of x. So in this case we have a fraction, so that gives me an indication that we'll need to maybe do a sidebar for calculations if we're not used to this. So think of it like this: 1 times something else in the other bracket. What will give us a coefficient of x? So we'll think about that. And also with our 2 over x squared, x to the power of something over x squared equals x. What would that be? So looking at 2 over x squared compared to what? Let's compare it to the x cubed. So x cubed all over x squared is in fact x to the power of 3 minus 2. So it is x. And that's how this works. So you're going to equate them. Put them together. We've got brackets, so they multiply. And of course, in line with that, in red there you can see 1 times x is again x as well. So that's that kind of question. And all these questions would be the same. As you go on, you'll see. So they can look a little bit difficult and complex when you first come across this idea, but just always try and separate it out like that. So we had 720 times 1 in red, and we have 2 times minus 240, which also led to a coefficient of x, so the answer is 240. That's our final answer. So that's how you do first 3 terms, and finding a coefficient for part B is a very common question. That's the binomial expansion for Cambridge Pure 1 or AS Mathematics.